Hi and hello and welcome. And there is an echo. I'm on
That
it.
is echo.
Here's the thing about the echo, Van.
Yeah.
I have to click on this thing. I have to click on this thing. I have to click on this thing, and then it's done.
Damn. You sure it's not Saleh somehow?
I'm 100% sure it's already
okay.
fixed.
Good.
I had to mute you because you weren't muted, and then I had to do this. So we start over. Hi and hello and welcome to Going Over. I, of course, am Fred Slow. Alongside me is Van Nunley, and alongside Van Nunley is former Duke City Championship Wrestling heavyweight champion of the world, the Polynesian Prince, the Samoan Nightmare. The man whose 2 coconuts weren't enough this past weekend at Birthday Bash 3 as he lost to, well, not just anyone, but NWA top of, I'm going to say he's number 3. I'm going to say number 1 is Silas Mason. Number 2 is Mike Mondo.
Right.
Number 3 is Brian Idol, but he's number 1 in Duke City Championship Wrestling as he was victorious over For Sale himself. Saleh Taylor, welcome.
Fred, heavy lies the crown, but Saleh doesn't have to worry about that anymore.
Want to use your words here, Saleh? You want to talk it out?
You know what? It's such a you left in my contract that I have to show up on Mondays, irregardless of what happened on the weekend. I should have read that before I signed.
Yeah, you're like Jalen Brown after an NBA loss in the playoffs. Still got to do the podcast.
We got to be here. I'm just here so I won't get fined.
There's nothing we can take from me anymore. Brian Idol's already took it all.
Honestly, this is me being me.
Oh, gosh.
One of the best I've ever been in the ring with. And even as I was taking the licking, I was taking notes.
Yeah.
He gave me a clinic.
It was a masterclass.
He gave me, it was
as good of a main event as we have ever had in Duke City Championship Wrestling with Saleh Taylor For Sale defending his title this past Saturday at Birthday Bash 3 against Brian Idol. It was pretty impressive, I thought.
I made a deal with the devil.
How long did you have the belt?
8 months.
That's a good run.
Good run.
That's
dude.
it. So
For sure.
Yeah, and you get 1 month of that, and then you win it back next month, and everything's good. June 20th.
I just want Robles.
Yeah, Pride and Pride. Okay, that's a good point.
I just want Robles. I don't care about any titles or anything else like that.
Good finish to the match this past week. We're going to talk about it at length. And I'll tell you what got that one started for me was I was on the broadcast, and whenever the mystery of NWA opponent came out this past Saturday at the Birthday Bash 3, the 3-year anniversary of Championship Wrestling, Brian Idol comes to the ring, and the crowd is pissed.
Yes, for sure.
Pissed. And
We wanted somebody new to hate,
yes,
not the one that we've hated explicitly already.
and they minutes earlier hated Mike Mondo worse than anything I had ever seen. Like minutes earlier, when Mike Mondo and Hobo Hank battled, and Mike Mondo took Hobo Hank in a
To the limit.
power bomb over the top rope finish to the thing. And, often it's a Matthew Robles situation. Often it's one of Saleh Sales cronies that are doing something, and Hobo Hank's just not getting a fair shot. Hobo Hank cleanly loses to the national champion, and the crowd is like as mad as the end of the night was as heated of a crowd as I've ever seen in pro wrestling.
Hardcore fans, especially day oneers of NWA New Mexico Duke City Championship Wrestling, got the air sucked out of the room, not once but twice.
Correct.
Not twice, but back to back. 2 heartbreaks to end this thing.
Yeah.
What a birthday.
Well, in the crowd, which is so fun, you can speak to this For Sale because you were there. Give us your experience. But after Brian Idol comes out from the main event with you right there in the ring, the crowd, because they hate Brian Idol so much, is they're gonna start a Saleh chant. They're gonna get behind the champ, which they've not been behind in any of these previous 8 months. And Brian Idol takes the mic and he says, "Have you idiots forgot? Have you idiots forgot that this man hates you?"
Yeah. When you got 2 big bads going up against each other, somebody's got to be the loser. There's got to be one bigger bad.
It's funny when his music hits and I saw him walk out.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything else.
Yeah.
I just saw him. It's one of those things like special focus moments
Mm-hmm.
where everything else just died out. And like, first off, big swerve right there.
Yeah.
God,
whoever's in the front office is doing a good job.
I don't know, man. I want to meet that guy.
Yeah.
Or girl. I don't want to assume. It feels like
Yeah, they.
it's very, very, yeah. No, but it was strange. Like that whole thing, time slowed down.
Yeah.
And they figured it fork in the road, and I had to man up or get pissed off and cry. And I tried to share both of those roads as much as possible. But no, man, I don't remember hearing much from the crowd. I don't remember hearing anything outside of the ring. I had a task ahead, and he took me to it, man.
Yeah, it took you to it. And then, there's a lot going on outside the ring as well. And, at least from the fans' viewpoint, because I was on broadcast, man was, amongst the people.
How was it? How was the reaction for y'all?
Oh, one of the best nights, if not the best night in Duke City Championship Wrestling history. Yeah. The place was packed. The energy was unmatched. They were excited to see some new faces who haven't been at the El Rey Theater before.
Yeah, talking about Drea, talking about Mike Mondo from the NWA, the national heavyweight champion.
Yeah, again, like the vibe was incredible. Energy was through the roof, the whole thing. I got to meet the fire marshal. That was cool. He was there to he was there to do a head count and
very present. Yeah, making the presence very known.
Inspect the trusses on the upstairs.
There were so many people there.
The whole thing was shoulder to shoulder. It was an incredible turnout.
Well, and that was the cool thing about, and we'll start with the main Casale's here, but that was the cool thing about the end was it's for sale that what was it, the 8th month at that point, and only the 3rd champion in the history of the promotion. And leading up to that, Thunder become the first individual in the history of the organization to win both the Route 66 and the Duke City Heavyweight Championship, and a title change that night after the Country Gents had to forfeit their titles due to obligations with the Savannah Bananas, which is a weird pro wrestling sentence.
Wild.
And that's so pro wrestling, though.
Yeah, it's and then into the main where, for sure For Sale will not let the people down against Brian Idol. And oh boy, were they wrong. As For Sale and his posse, he comes out to the ring 6 deep. He's got Ty Slice, who is so anticipatory or nervous for the whole thing. He botches the intro. That's when I thought you were in trouble. When Ty Slice botches your intro.
That wasn't a botch. He fumbled.
I go, this moment might be too big. I go, where's your team at? I was looking, and Matthew Robles wasn't reacting. And Jasmine St. Clair, the secret weapon, by the way, Jasmine St. Clair in Duke City.
I did not know she was coming either, by the way.
Well, she's the secret weapon.
I've seen some of her documentaries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's good, hands-on stuff. She's good. And then, obviously, Chelsea Dotson, mini man herself, which seemed to be, if not 1,000 miles away, had a 1,000-mile stare all night long.
Sure.
And then Brian Idol comes at you like a NWA champion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To feel what the next level is.
Yeah.
Gives me another goal.
There you go.
Gives me things to look forward to, things to work forward, things to work towards. Brian Idol is one of the best, if not the best, to do it. Brian Idol is the guy.
Yeah.
I'll humbly admit that any day. In
a one-on-one situation, I mean, you guys were 50-50 right there. In a one-on-one situation,
he was just that much faster than me. He was just that much stronger than me. He was just that much better than me.
Because you haven't watched the tape back yet. You don't know what you don't know. So, in the ring, Jasmine St. Clair makes the effort to distract the way that she historically has. So very many in life.
Incredible at it.
To be there.
Yeah. And then you have an opportunity, but I almost think your respect for the game got in your way, as when Matthew Robles and you and he have so many times coerced a victory out of the hands of cheating, where you refuse the beads. The beads are offered to you, and you say, nah, I can do it. I saw it with my own eyes. And then Matthew Robles, he handed those beads right over to Brian Idol. And the crowd, man, you were there.
Yeah.
The crowd could not, the crowd and Chelsea Dotson and me on broadcast and you for about that. How do you snap into a mic?
There you go. Got it.
Fast.
Mostly got it.
1, 2, 3 count. And the Boo Birds came out. The Boo Birds came out as you laid. I would identify you as lifeless because Chelsea could not left you.
Mm-hmm. The idolizer
is real.
All I remember was waking up later.
Yeah.
Brian Idol. Everything he does is so precise,
Yeah.
so good, and designed for maximum pain.
Can I say a couple things here real quick?
Yep.
Number one, Saleh, what you were talking about is exactly true. When I have a real life kiddo, and we used to play chess together, and I told her the only way you can get better at chess is to play a better opponent. And now that's looking you dead into the face. Brian Idol put a whooping on you.
I want to say whooping on me,
but yeah, okay, yeah, they were recording. You know that, right?
We'll see.
But in your grace, in your defense, I have to say something nice about For Sale real quick.
All right.
One of your super fans begged me to have an introduction with you after the match.
I see. I was there. I saw this.
You were what I assume is concussed. You were what I assume was dazed.
We follow protocols.
You were taking in the moment, getting a breath of fresh air. And as big as that moment was, you still made the time to meet that young man who idolizes you. And in that moment, I was so proud of you as a performer and as a person. That was incredible.
Here's the thing. I think it would either they told me, you told me. It was also their first live show.
Correct.
That is what they told me as well.
Yeah.
And one of the things I will never be bigger than is the show.
Sure.
Anyone that spends their hard-earned money to come and support the show deserves our time, deserves our presence, deserves our attention.
100%.
No matter where you are on the spectrum of good or evil, no matter where you think you are on the card, when these people come out, especially those first timers.
Yeah.
And guess what? They already got tickets to the next show.
Yeah.
Yep.
You respect the investment of time and energy and money that these people put in, and you go and say hi. No matter how you're feeling, unless you had to be pulled away due to safety reasons.
Yeah, sure.
Happened to one guy.
You know, you show up because they showed up.
That's how hard that night went. This was the first time in Duke City Championship Wrestling we had a performer who wasn't available after the event.
Right.
Yeah. Like that was the intensity. And you know, you're giving one example of Saleh and the fan, and I want to say his name was Chris.
It was Chris, correct.
And
who has goals now?
he's got goals in life.
He caught the bug.
Yeah.
He's got the fever, baby. He wants to do it big time when he gets older.
At least in my opinion, those memories that are being created for the first time for those fans, will obviously last longer than any 8-month title reign. You know, those memories will last longer than the 3 years that Duke City Championship Wrestling has already existed.
Yep.
You know, those memories with that young man and hundreds of other kiddos in this community is, I guess, not worth a ton monetarily, but it's worth so very much. You said you made a deal with the devil. It was with so very much in our relationship with our community.
Yes.
And like that surrounds us, and that whenever you and I, Saleh, and Van, you to a much lesser degree, except for that weird phase where you question yourself about the ultimate.
Everyone's been there.
I mean, come on.
Everyone's been there.
Yeah, the amount of creation that comes from that. It's just so incredible to spark a lifelong addiction.
Yeah.
I mean, I say it every single time that this comes up on one of our programs, especially this one, is because I'm the wild card there. Somebody doesn't show up. Somebody's sick. I fill a role. I do something. I do this. I do. But my favorite thing every time is, again, seeing the show from a first-timer's eyes.
Yeah.
And seeing all the kids there who were there for the first time. And boy, did they pick a good one to see for the first time. It makes it so special knowing that level of entertainment that NWA New Mexico is putting out for its fans is going to resonate for not days or months, but years and years and years going forward.
And just inspire.
Sure.
You know, just inspire.
You've been saying this a lot these last several months. Leave it better than it was with you.
Then you found it. Yeah.
Then you found it. The least I can do. Well, one, ever since I was younger, I've only taken from business.
Sure.
My only job from here on is to give back.
Oh, how great.
That's what was instilled to me from my family.
Yeah.
It was actually, this is the quote. This is the quote that my uncles would tell me and tell us. You're nobody with no name that's done nothing but take from the business. Your only job from here on is to give back.
So cool. Because you're there now. Because for a while, those were not that they were hollow words, but you couldn't give them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is when I began the conversations with them. Hey, I'm kind of want to do this. And then, all right, just remember.
Yeah.
Riding your coattails, I'm going to take you so far.
Yeah.
Because you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
You got to show up, and you got to make it better. You got to leave it better than when you got it.
Yeah. When, there's like little things. See, this is a little bit of back of the house, but like Brian Idle's been with us longer than you have, at least in the ring. And
yeah.
I guess you guys come on about the same time, which is kind of crazy to think about. So you have very similar timelines, but in the almost 3 years that Brian Idle has been with us in the NWA partnership, Brian Idle has never one time taken a promo picture with us. Brian Idle has done everything in the ring.
Right.
Brian Idle has done every backstage vignette. Brian Idle's done every run-in and pull apart and every extracurricular thing we've asked him. But he had the Route 66 title. He's never taken a promo picture with us.
With us.
Until he becomes Duke City Championship Wrestling Champion. And then
and obviously the most Brian Idle thing he could possibly do.
Yeah.
Is not give you that heat until he's all the way at the top of the mountain. Yeah. That's the most Brian Idle thing that could possibly be done.
Which is that exact thing you're talking about, right? Like it's better because of the time he had it. That title is better because of the time that Hobo Hank had it. That title is better because of the way it was won by Thunder inaugurally, And
all right. So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Man to man.
Okay.
From when I first got the title
to
where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Have I grown?
Yeah, that's an interesting question, right? Because in the ring, you've always physically had it, right? But there's been not trepidation, but dependent upon who you're in the ring with, right? And like what's the best way to say this? Brian Idle is, it's PWI rear. He's one of the top whatever in the world, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Once you get there, you will elevate to that level you're at.
Yeah.
But I will also say when we first started and some of those opponents that you were with as you were learning and figuring it out, what's the opposite of elevate? Recess.
Yeah.
You would recess to their level, to where it was, where it was. Hey, I see the opponent across from me, and I understand the guardrails that surround that opponent. So I would say because throughout your title reign, your competition improved, you improved alongside that competition. I'll tell you the psychology part that super got me was with the crowd. And the crowd, because often the main event, because so regularly the storyline developing, there was never a throwaway opportunity when you're the champ, right?
Yeah.
The crowd, I don't feel ever fully hated you the way that you hated them whenever the title first came into your hand.
I wouldn't say I hated them.
You killed their hero, Hobo Hank.
No, I just did a job.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
I won the damn title. I did what I had to do to make the title, but
maybe that's enough of an example.
Yeah.
You just said I was going to work, and for them, work was their hero, Hobo Hank, and you killed it. It was your job to kill them.
I'll take it one step further.
Kill is loose.
You used your leverage to get this dastardly group of no do-gooders.
They just kept showing up
to surround you and keep that title by force, by any means necessary. But I feel for sale, you might be making a pivot as of last Saturday because you had one of those opportunities to make a decision like that. You could have won again by nefarious means, but you stared down Brian Idle and you said, I'm going to do this natural. I'm going to do this a real way. I think I'm better than my opponent.
Knowing that the NWA
you were wrong,
Well,
but at least you did it the right way.
Here's the thinking behind my actions.
Okay. The crowd, the Duke City Championship Wrestling audience wants it.
Brian Idle has the attention, has the ear, has
because Billy Corgan's watching.
Billy Corgan.
Yeah,
sure. Big Daddy Billy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that every time he comes in, he doesn't go anywhere he doesn't want to go. He doesn't do anything he doesn't want to do.
Yeah.
But he keeps it real with Big Daddy Billy. And he reports back, not just to him, to actually to everyone. He gives you notes on every show. The last thing I want him to tell the big boss is they play dirty. We shouldn't be dealing with them too much.
Okay.
That's the thing when you're the champ, you carry that because you carry the company with you. You got to let people know this is how we do business. beyond this is how I do business. I had to be very mindful. When I had the title, I had to be very mindful how I spoke, how I done things, how I conducted myself online, even because it's a reflection of Duke City Championship Wrestling, DCCW. That's how I carried it. That was my interpretation of it. It was never just me anymore. It was now for sale. Now NWA New Mexico, and that's something I took the weight of it because in my family I was the first NWA champion.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
That is insane.
That's really cool. You get to sit at the big kids table at the barbecue now. That's very exciting for you.
Lucky.
Fred got to witness me sitting at the big the adults table for the first time. And the kids still got to sit there.
I tell you what, you're
I'm so pissed.
I prefer the kids table, man.
I think you're a little revisionist, man. Because I'm going to tell you, like, you're a victim of your own circumstance. Like you chose to associate with those Matthew Robles, unbeknownst to you, with the secret weapon, Jasmine St. Clair. Obviously, Sidney Porter. Obviously, Ronan. Obviously, Ty Slice. Obviously, Chelsea Dotson. But those that you associate with are a representation of yourself. You're talking about representation. And when the time came to make a choice, knowing what you knew about Matthew Robles and Joe Casano Promotions earlier in the night, knowing what you've seen from Matthew Robles and his multiple betrayals of individuals over the time, you still danced with the devil. And when that pale moonlight came out, it shined bright on you. And when it shined bright on you, Matthew Robles played the hand he's so very familiar with, which is the betrayal one. And you were betrayed by those that you chose to keep closest. And I'm going to tell you right now, those in the back are aware. Who do you think is going to come to your savior now? No one.
No one.
No one. You're going to have a real long talk with Chelsea Dotson. We're going to put that in the ring when you guys do. I don't know where she stands, but I'm going to tell you this. As good as a pro wrestler you are, you're that bad of a decision maker.
Yeah.
You know, the people who I associate myself with are those that I felt either could elevate me or I could elevate myself. You know, it was a rub that went both ways. But I'll admit, it bit me. It bit me in the end with Robles.
Sure. Should have been expected.
You know those things where you want to believe a lie that you know they've said before?
Yeah, I tell myself I'm handsome every day.
Well, we tell you that too, actually.
Oh, you're helping. Thank you.
Yeah. We're enabling.
Van Siri calls him Handsome Van. It's weird. It's
Good morning, Handsome Van.
Yeah, it's not even in the normal settings. I had to hack into my own Siri to do it.
He tried to do it on his own, but Apple was like, we know better.
No way.
Not going to let it happen.
We have pictures of you.
It's crazy. It's things that I wanted to believe. And also, he gave me results. Let's be honest. He gave me results.
Sure.
And, we took shortcuts along the way.
I can give you, again, revisionist history here by the man who I believe thinks there's a thread of a chance that any of these individuals are going to help you. I'm going to tell you they're not. Because I remember some of your biggest moments, Matthew Robles was at a University of Utah youth football game. I remember some of your biggest moments. Matthew Robles is watching playoff hockey elsewhere. I know in some of your biggest moments, Matthew Robles didn't even board a plane. But I'll tell you when Matthew Robles was here, it was good for Matthew Robles. And we saw that this past Saturday night at Birthday Bash 3 as he and the secret weapon, Jasmine St. Clair, who loved jet setting around the country, destroying hotel rooms and lives, destroyed your life first, and then I'm sure made quick work of the Best Western. And that's on you, brother. And your journey now, your journey now,
the Odyssey,
is going to be a substantial uphill climb. And I'll be excited to see how the crowd does on June the 20th at Pride and Power reacts to the return of the failed for sale Solid Taylor to the Duke City Championship Wrestling ring for the first time in almost a year.
Yeah.
We're going to focus on us.
Okay. Define who us is.
For sale, all of us.
Okay. I didn't see them at the end.
I'm excited to see your David Carradine Kung Fu-esque journey that you have to go on now because no one's going to get your back.
No.
You've burned every
I still got my
bridge.
guys. I still got my guys.
They're going to sell
brought
you out
under,
so fast.
I was brought under Robles, but everyone else brought under me.
From the live chat, also making his, and we haven't talked about this, return
Yeah.
to Duke City Championship Wrestling this past Saturday for Ashley after a 1 year hiatus. Mr. Happy.
Oh,
Everything
man.
gives results, but were they the ones you wanted?
Boom.
I tell you what,
Hey, hell of a pop when Mr. Happy came back.
it was so
Mhm.
funny because it was during the blindfold match.
Yeah.
So it was a muted pop.
Sure.
So no one in the ring knew. Happy. Also, that's the same chant I heard at the end when For Sale lost.
Just, I don't know how that clown got back in.
Banger of an evening. It opened up at the women's three-way before allowed to pivot away.
Insane. Great.
Yeah.
Great match.
Drea making her debut, of course, from SPCW, South Plains Championship Wrestling, that Duke City Championship Wrestling obviously has a professional relationship with, and our ring is open to their talent, their ring is open to ours. And she came in, inserted herself into a match between WWEID's very own Fallen Gray and the, I'm going to say, hottest thing in the indies right now, the Cherry Bomb Carmen Gaparto, whose pit crew just seems to be growing every single month. Which
Putting in work.
Working on everyone else's cards, apparently, man. That's a big crew.
It was a big pit crew.
I think the owner came out too with them.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. And so they get out there and they start the night off, and you guys know how it is. I go out there and flick the lights and do the national anthem or whatever I do, and the crowd gets their seats, because it's time to go.
Yep.
But they didn't have to get to the seats of that one because they knew the women's match was first. I went out there, it was the most people I'd ever see sitting, and that women's match starts off after a little promo between me and Joe Kazana, and a cool moment for me professionally to be in the ring with Joe Kazana. And
he's so good.
Whose colors you're flying right now?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, he gave this to me after
the
the
contract,
show.
by the way. Yeah, to wear that.
Thank you. But it's so funny because obviously I don't pro wrestle. Obviously I have a different role within the company.
Sure. People appreciate that.
I think they do.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, to be able to be in the ring and stay equal-footed with guys like Joe Kazana, who's been doing it since the 70s.
Wild.
And his copy before him.
Yeah. Yeah, the good point. And his boys now are the
third generation.
Yeah, hottest thing in the whole world.
Fifth generation, they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And currently, blazing the Crockett Cup, which you can watch on Comment on Fridays, and then immediately on demand after that, an NWA Power. Yeah, it was kind of a cool one for me. And then there's obviously a story that has to be told while we're out there, and I think it translates. I think it does to the crowd. And without confusion, we're moving forward into the women's match. So big 3-on-3, or excuse me, three-way where Drea comes out on top, and she's grabbed that number one contender spot, which is great. So get ready for that.
Forgive me for backing up just a little bit.
No, you're good. I deserve it.
I don't know if this will be on the episode when it drops. Your interaction with Papa Joe.
It will.
Your Midwest charm against his Southern defiance.
Okay. I was going to say downfalls, but I like
was quite a feat to see.
Yeah.
For those who don't know how to read nonverbals or even anything like that, it's quite a masterclass on how to deal with something like that. I'll give you your roses on this, man, because that was really, really dope. Joe Kazana is no one to be messed with, no one to be trifled with.
Yeah.
And he knows the authority that he carries, and he carries it well.
Yeah, I agree completely.
But it was weird when he was throwing it at you because
bless your heart.
It was his was it rubber and glue?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it absolutely is, and what it is, it's appetizer, right? That's the part everyone. I always say this to everyone, and no one ever listens. But the way we make television with Duke City Championship Wrestling is every other match is a main event. Every second match is a main event.
Right.
And then, as we're telling stories, it's
episodically.
What's that?
Episodically.
Yes. And so if we're going to start with the women, well, you're starting the show and the main events to follow, so you have to heat that crowd up. So every match is like the biggest match, which is
has to be.
Has to be.
Yeah.
And then I always say, well, sometimes we have to set the palette before, and that's how you do it. You know, that's the cool. Now you're about to be into a car crash, you know, for the next whatever remaining of the episode, which to me is awesome, just super awesome. So the girls start. Drea comes in. She just does that thing. You know, she's wildly talented and wildly good. I didn't know. I hadn't seen her
having a debut on an anniversary show, which is kind of like our big show. I can only imagine the kind of nerves she was in with.
Yeah.
You know, but she showed up like a pro and showed out.
Yes. Yeah. And then now sits in the number one contender spot for a match with Zamaya at the time we can schedule that. So obviously that'll be really good. That'll be
really good. Whenever you can get that on the calendar, the soonest you can get that on the calendar, please do.
Mm-hmm. And
Zamaya becoming higher.
Yeah, she's climbing the ladder professionally.
Yeah.
You know, she's had opportunities in NWA Chicago. She's obviously traveled all over the country.
Yeah.
Performed a ton at WrestleMania weekend. Recently signed a contract with Major League Wrestling.
Yep.
And, you know, they have some of the biggest names in the business, including, you know, Shotzi Blackheart. You can kind of run through all those. So, yeah, a ton of talent out there. The main event after that one, Valak Vile versus Johnny Magna, which was the end to a really good story where Johnny Magna, through tomfoolery, had really injured Valak Vile, and they have to fight each other with all things equal in a blindfold match. It was shades of Jake the Snake Roberts, you know, from years ago. It was kind of a good throwback to indie wrestling and a good conclusion to that one. And as soon as it wraps, after the return of Mr. Happy, which was page turner, game changer, whatever you want to say, in favor of Valak Vile. So don't be surprised if Mr. Happy and Johnny Magna are going to continue or start their own story, I guess,
Or
immediately following this.
This weird connection between Valak and Mr. Happy is something I want to keep my eye on.
Yeah.
I don't trust either of them.
Sure.
And even more so in that they're together. They seem to be in cahoots on something.
I tell you, I don't know enough about them as normal human beings to give a normal prediction.
Sure.
No, they're not that. They're not that at all.
I mean, there's a lot of matches at NWA New Mexico with great storylines and, you know, great athletic feats. But when you able to sprinkle in something as like comedic as you're blinding two wrestlers,
Yes, correct.
you're adding a new element that the crowd absolutely loved.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably one of the most the crowd favorited matches of the night because they didn't know what was coming.
It felt like one of those only works on the anniversary show kind of things.
Right.
It was very good. Probably your best pro wrestling match of the night. Probably if there was a category for the show stealer, this might be the show stealer of the year. It was Tommy Two Scoops versus Antoine Giovanni. 2 out of 3. And I really like the All Fast MVD gimmick where it's 5 minutes per round of the 3.
Yeah.
Thank you to All Fast MVD, by the way.
Oh, they're tremendous.
Time.
But those two went until literally bloodied in the head.
Yes.
Like, just incredible. Did they fight to the very, very end? And with but seconds left, Tommy Two Scoops, tremendous. And if there's a pop in the building that rivals Hobo Hank, it is for Tommy Two Scoops.
Yep.
And this is the most cliche indie promoter thing I'm ever going to say. And then because the rest of the card is so good and the rest of the promotion is so entertaining, his fans stick around.
Yes.
You know, you go to indie shows and you find
I see what you're saying.
You find a guy who can draw. Tommy draws.
Tommy draws.
And after their guy wrestles, they leave and they go to the bar next door and wait it out and that's not this.
No.
Those seats stayed full, and you know they stayed full through our social media match of the night, which was the 5-way, which was the Route 66 title.
Yeah.
Obviously the match that existed and Thunder the Victor, and we could talk at length about that too with a really interesting finish. But the part that stole my heart, I know it stole yours too, Van, was we didn't get permission to say any names, so we're just going to say a young fan.
Yeah.
But Manny Lemons entering with a young fan.
Super fan.
Super fan.
Yeah. I would say we don't like to rank fans at NWA New Mexico.
But he's the MLS.
He's a number one.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
He's lowercase a number 1 because he's little. He's a little guy. He's a little guy.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? Indoctrination. You know, no. How dare the parents? I'm blaming the parents on this. You know, no.
Years later, he's going to become one of the best pro wrestlers in the world. And someone's
we
going
we can only hope.
When'd you make your debut? He's going to say, Duke City Championship Wrestling.
6 years old.
Yeah. And then mid-match, Manny Lemons scoops them up from the crowd and uses them as a human battering ram.
So good. So good.
And we're on you can find this on Facebook
It's on social.
right now. Yeah. Van and I
everywhere.
are doing the social media live match, and I can't handle it.
No, it's
like,
too much.
It's too much.
It's so good.
And the return of
So
Sidney Porter for the first time in
Yeah.
months to Duke City Championship Wrestling. The Baltimore Native put on a show in his own way. Just a ton of talent in that match. One man had to be the victor, and it was Thunder after crowd stealing. Lonzo was in a pin submission, a submission hold from Manny Lemons, and Rona was in a submission hold from Thunder, and just excellent little into that one. So great. And then you're on to the tag team match, which is, the night I've been assigned the championship titles, and it's Pretty City Express, who only recently lost them 2 shows ago.
Yeah.
And they're going to fight Lamigro, who's returning for the first time, who, by the way, got a memo today. No longer is that they. They are West Texas Incorporated moving forward.
West Texas Incorporated.
West Texas
Ooh.
Incorporated.
WTI.
Okay.
Yeah, so get ready for that.
Is this a licensing right thing? Did cease and desist from actual Lamigra?
That is very correct.
God, I love this
Yes.
so much. That is incredible.
Yeah.
So Lamigra's got like
So it is
they got a letterhead.
Yeah, the irony of that organization signing themselves to the United States Patent Office, but very real. So West Texas Incorporated is that formerly that team. So that is a dead name to us now. Only West Texas Incorporated moving forward. But they are now your Duke City Championship Wrestling Chili champions. The first time.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was the first belt that had ever been vacated in the history of Duke City Championship Wrestling. So that was a first for us. And as we mentioned, Thunder, the first time a champion becoming, multi-title holder in the 6'6" and the heavyweight champion.
If Thunder were to win the tag titles,
Or Brian Idol.
Mm-hmm. That'll make them Grand Slam champs.
That is correct.
Ooh. Impressive. Something to work towards.
Ooh.
Thunder has put in the work. He has done everything you ask of an individual in your organization to eventually get these championships, to eventually get these accolades. And I don't think anyone is more deserving than him.
Speaking of accolades of Thunder, I'll give the man his flowers. Ronnie Thungen, he's got his own wrestling gym that's associated with BCCW.
Yeah,
I might have to pay him a visit.
Yeah.
But also various promotions that he has worked with. Thunder has been the first champion of a lot of these promotions.
Yeah.
There's something about him that shows that he's either that or doing something right.
Under the table stuff going on. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know, man.
Well, I know how he won the Duke City Championship Wrestling first one for the first one, and it was through tomfoolery and one Matthew freaking Robles.
Cheating our hero, Hobo Hank. Is that what you're referring to?
Oh, Robles.
I still have scars from that night.
Can I get like just 5 minutes with Robles in the next show? Is he guaranteed to come back?
The secret weapon, brother. You're in trouble. You're never going to get that 5 minutes. Hobo Hank takes on Mike Mondo. He's the national heavyweight champion of the NWA, and he is built like a brick house.
Oh my goodness!
Mighty, letting it all hang out.
He's gigantic.
This was a battle.
Mm-hmm.
These are 2 guys in order to wrestle, but they just wanted to fight.
They not a brawl though, like not a brawl at all.
Yeah,
because those guys went out there and showed that they both have been perfect. Hobo Hank now entering his 30th year, which is incredible.
Crazy
and
stuff.
Mike Mondo debuted in the WWE.
I wasn't born yet.
Mike Mondo debuted in the WWE in the early 2000s, but obviously has been wrestling before the time he entered the WWE. And those 2 guys went out there and. The crowd, like they always are behind Hobo Hank, the way they always are.
Yeah.
And then Mike Mondo did not care.
Oh, I don't think he's ever cared about anything in the history of his existence.
I said it on the broadcast. He beat up Smalls. I said on the broadcast, he's friends with Aaron Stevens. I say on the broadcast, like he's not a good human being. And then he beat up my best friend.
Yeah. Rough.
And I was sad.
Very rough.
And I had only found out moments before your match that Brian Idol was the guy, right? I had only found out a little before. And he goes out there and he spoils the rest of the night promo. We went over that at length. And before you know, it's the end of Birthday Bash 3 years in the book. And then the questions start rolling in on me. Fred, what's in store for year 4?
Yeah.
Fred, what is next? Fred, what is the goal? And we put out a press release today, but the goal is, and we're very excited to partner with Dungeon LLC and SPCW, South Plains Championship Wrestling. And what we are going to do is we're going to take monthly on the road Duke City Championship Wrestling around the state of New Mexico.
Love it.
Starting this June the 12th in Las Vegas, New Mexico. It's a Friday at the El Rialto.
Boom.
Where you can go up and you can see the boys come to your part of the state. And we're currently eyeing dates, not just in Las Vegas, but we're contracted to Clovis. We're in the works on Carlsbad. We're going to work a deal in Las Cruces, Deming, New Mexico, Silver City, Farmington, Gallup, Grants, all of these destinations. And we are very excited to not just be here in the Duke City the way that we so successfully have for the past 3 years, but take this bad boy on the road and make sure that this addiction that is pro wrestling infects the state the way that Breaking Bad did so many years ago.
The show, not the effects of the show, or the contents of the show.
Okay, why not both? I'm still incredibly excited to go back to my hometown where my family comes from, Carlsbad, to entertain those people, because everything I know about Carlsbad is they are starved for entertainment.
Yeah.
And the best show in wrestling is coming to Carlsbad, and I can't wait to see their faces.
That world
when that bell rings.
Yeah. That in front of us. And of course, we got the state fair lined up again. We're really excited about that. We got a cool partnership coming with the professional soccer team in town. We're excited about that. We got a partnership coming with the Goatheads, the professional hockey team in town.
So stoked.
Yeah, there's just a ton in front of us. And for those who've been along for the ride the whole time, just buckle in a little bit more because it's going to get more exciting.
Yeah.
And for us that are, at least metaphorically driving this roller coaster or this car crash, I don't know what you call it. It's going to get a little bit bumpy before it gets smooth, but how fortunate we are to have the absolute best individuals in place to handle all these scenarios. And if it's not just performance in the ring, not to speak out of turn for you, Saleh, but the individuals behind the scenes that help produce this thing so substantially, they're going to continue to do it, and hopefully this profession that we all have comes into a paying profession. And then from there, we all expand further. So year 4 is going to be the biggest, most pivotal one to date in the history of Duke City Championship Wrestling, and it'll only be surpassed by year 5 when that opportunity comes. So,
I mean, you're already looking forward to year 4, but Fred, I would love to hear your musings on the journeys of the first 3 years, where you started, where you are now, your expectations, what you learned. Like, give NWA New Mexico fans a little glimpse behind the scenes of the journey that everyone's been on.
That's a great question. Before I answer, Saleh, was there anything you want to wrap up on that year 4 projection before I go into retro for the end of the program?
If I don't make myself onto the flyer of our 4th year anniversary DCCW 4 sale, then I failed.
Yeah.
As an entertainer, as a worker, as a wrestler.
Correct.
As a Saleh. If I don't make myself onto that flyer.
Well, and if me and Van play our cards right and we both get married in the next 2 years, we're going to be on the 5th year anniversry as 5th wheel.
I am very nice for that too. Well, who else is going to, be the minister on the at your service? So
I can't be my own minister.
No,
as a Dudist priest, I can't do my own wedding.
As a man from the Church of Rock and Roll,
I don't put a ton of wrestlers on the flyers. Have I talked to you guys about this before? It's like
you didn't really you mentioned it, but you never really got into it.
I don't really do it. And when I do, it's like a selective thing.
Yeah.
It's like real selective. And there's 3 wrestlers on the next flyer: Allura Jet, Brian Idol, and Johnny Magna are all on the next flyer. And it's a cool flyer. It's a cool Pride and Power, June 20th. And before that, I mean, I'll put some NWA guys on there. NWA guys deserve to be on the flyer. But after that, it's just a bunch of guys coming up to me saying, "Hey, can I go on the flyer?" You know what you can do?
Good work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get some people in the building.
Give me a reason.
That'd be great.
To put you on the flyer.
Our highest selling show of all time was at the Rio Rancho Event Center. It was 1,200 people. And Hobo Hank and Thunder were on that flyer. Well, they've been fighting each other for 20 years. And do you have that one under your belt, kid? The retro. It's so interesting, man. You and I worked together professionally and we've been very close personally for the last 8, almost 9 years as our anniversary approaches.
That's accurate.
And you are aware that I have never, professionally or personally, really ever struggled to be kind and be friendly and produce strong friendships based off mutual investment. I think all those things are true unless you feel otherwise.
I'll give you that. And
I will say it is not hard for others to like me because I'm likable, and it's not hard for others to befriend me because I'm friendly. And when we started this thing in the world of pro wrestling, there were many individuals thrust into this start that had absolute refusal to accept everything I just said as factual.
Sure.
There was such a accustomed to being burned by or having had a bad experience of or creating an environment so toxic upon themselves that they didn't understand when they couldn't breathe. And that to me was a distraction from the start we should have had.
Right.
And it was a bummer.
Gotcha.
And after we found the right performers and after we found the right producers and after we found the right team, and I mean, I'm talking all the way from the front door guy to the video guy to the merchandise gal to the pro wrestler in the ring to the back of the house production. Kevin Hoover is as important as anyone in the business.
Right.
And implementing and placing all your best players in their best positions is the thing I think I'm strong at. And whenever we started doing that, I had no doubt in my mind that this thing would find the success that it has found. So after what I would call a interesting start, and the partnership with the NWA, that's just the biggest part. The partnership with the NWA, it has met my expectations to this point. Yeah. And there was a time 6 months in, almost a year in, where I wasn't sure. And then the last 2 years have been no doubters. And not just got to where we wanted to be, but made up the time that we had lost being slow out of the. Well, you watched Kentucky Derby this weekend. It's like you can be slow out of the gate.
Right.
It's how you finish. And not are we at all coming up on the finish line, but we have rounded and we have now equaled my expectations. And if you ask me this question 1 year from today, and you say, where do you think you're at now? I have no doubt we will surpass where I thought we would be in year 4.
I also have absolutely no doubt. Speaking on the industry, if you're in bad relationship, and that's all you've ever known.
Yeah.
When a good one finally comes,
you can't recognize it.
You don't know what's going on. You don't know how to deal with it. You don't know how to approach it. You don't know how to treat it with the kindness and dignity and respect that it deserves. And it took some people a while to come around and realize, hey, this is the real deal.
Joel Lewino said it to me years ago. Joel runs the Albuquerque Aardvarks, and he runs their youth foundation. He's the ambassador of rugby for New Mexico to Mexico. Yeah. He's that guy. And we were at the very first show. I told you this, man. You might even have been standing there, but it's a little bit of a fever memory for me because of that entire night. And I was like, hey, it's a really great start. I don't remember what we had the first night. You weren't there, Saleh, but I think the first night we had just under 300 people. We had sold every chair, but and we had more chairs at that point. We kind of moved away from that formula, but we had sold every chair and it was great. And I was like, hey, this is a really good start, Joel, who's been in entertainment and music production forever. And he turned to me and he was like, he did that, that move where you just move your hand across the crowd.
Gestures at everything.
Yes. Yeah. And he goes, yeah, for you, Fred, this is a really good start. He goes, for a lot of these guys, it's their swan song. And I didn't get it in the moment. And I said, he was like, for this to go where you want to go, he's like, you're going to need better pieces. And at that, poor indie wrestling has, all their social media presence is fan cams. Poor indie wrestling.
Yeah.
Their guy ringside is a Canon Sure Shot 400 handheld. Yep. And it was, yeah, we gotta make that investment to get it to where we wanted it to be, and we did. We have 5 cameras. We are a 5-camera production in the back of the house where no one sees anything. We're a 3-camera production.
Right.
We are theater sound. And if I were to wax, I'm on one now, guys. Sorry. If I was to wax poetic about our sound and lighting, it does not work the way it works without our sound and lighting. Like,
Totally.
it does not work the way it works without our performers in the ring and buying into the stories that we're telling to the audience that's so willing to embrace them. But 1 year from today will have surpassed my expectations. This is a good program.
It's a great program. And again, happy 3rd birthday.
Thank you.
To Duke City Championship Wrestling, NWA New Mexico. I've seen from the beginning to now how hard you've worked, the passion that it takes to make this happen. So absolute kudos to you, Fred, and especially everyone else involved, even you, Saleh Taylor, for sale.
How many
you loser?
How many thank you texts did you get like Saturday and Sunday?
I was getting other texts.
You did have a lot going on. We
Yeah.
didn't jump into any of that,
Yeah.
but
I did get a Porque text. I did get one of those. I was like, wrong number, bro.
yeah.
You got a porque?
Yeah,
Any y pobrecitos in there?
bro. I was like,
I got
Lo siento.
Saturday and Sunday. I got so many thank you for the last 3 years. And I'll give my phone number to anyone. Like, fans have it. Like, I don't care. You know,
making yourself accessible.
it's wild.
It's insane to me.
Yeah.
That still
I'm that guy.
baffles me, man.
But yeah, I was. Also, I slept like 14 hours on Sunday.
Nice.
Like, I was a zombie. Like,
bet.
it was whole
It's a
thing.
good day.
We got to wrap up because the NNism guys are here, and we're going to play video games and watch pro wrestling here at Howie Sports Page, which we got so excited about to start out that we mentioned. We're at Howie Sports Page.
Yeah,
Howie
baby.
Sports Page.
Yeah, where we are every single Monday. So if you want to come down here and listen to the Cranberries on house music and play video games and watch pro wrestling with us, you can and you should.
I believe that's Natalie Imbruglia.
Shows you what I know.
Natalie Imbruglia.
He's named another white girl. Come on, bro.
Just any 3 white people.
Yeah.
Is this
Totally
off,
them.
Come on, Fred. You better.
is this off Lisa Loeb's greatest hits album?
Could be.
It's Lisa Loeb's favorite songs.
Final words, boys. We're wrapping it up.
Once again, congratulations to NW New Mexico for hitting 3 years, and cheers to many more.
You entered my life over 2 years ago, and it's been better. I thank you. I thank you so much.
Good job, everyone. Keep breathing.